How you doing, everyone? And welcome to this episode of the Isaac Hayes Show, talking about life, talking about liberty, and yes, talking about the pursuit of happiness and showing everyone in the world that Cajuns do have intelligence. Hope you're having a great day, a great week, wherever you are located. Just remember that this is the day the Lord has made. You should rejoice and be glad in it. Pretty cold here in Louisiana. I know a lot of people up north are probably saying 31 degrees is not that cold, or the 30s are not that cold, but here in Louisiana, with the humidity and with the wind chill and everything like that, it is cold. We're not used to this type of cold weather here in Louisiana, so keep me in prayer, waking up early in the mornings to go to work and just opening your front door and you're hit with cold weather. It is not fun, but we're nice and toasty here in BGS Media today, and got a lot to cover. Just hope everyone, again, is having a great day. Hump Day. It is Wednesday, January the 8th. We're 2 days from Trump being certified as president of the president-elect, or the incoming president of the United States, and we are only 12 days away until he is inaugurated into the presidency. And yes, Jimmy Carter will be laid to rest, I believe, tomorrow. So a lot of stuff going on. Jimmy Carter, the late president, passed away last week at the age of 100. He was in Georgia. His body was laid in Georgia, and then now it's in the Rotunda in the Capitol, I think today and again tomorrow, the funeral proceedings, which, you know, I've seen Ronald Reagan's and George H.W. Bush funerals, and it's unfortunately there was a life that lost, okay? But the process of laying a president to rest is extraordinary. Okay, I remember when Ronald Reagan first passed away, they were talking about the funeral arrangement stuff, and I was still young. I was home, so I could watch all the process of them doing his funeral. Again, you know, the process of laying a president to rest is phenomenal. And it's the same thing with when Queen Elizabeth died. You know, the process in England, it was amazing. I'm trying to say a funeral is amazing. I'm just saying the process in doing that is pretty. It's legit. It's legit. So everybody in the chat, welcome to today's episode. Happy to have you here. Please comment, please share, and also like this video. If you're in the chat right now, please like that video. Let's get that like count up. Let's get the views up. Let's start making this show go viral. I can't do that alone. I can sit here and make the content, but I can't hit a like button 127 times. I could, but it'd be like, unlike. So go ahead and hit that like button. Go ahead and tell your friends about the Isaac Hayes Show. And again, let's get this show rolling. Let's show executives at Rumble that, hey, this show is worth featuring. So, all right, let's start with the news today. So some of the biggest news I think it was yesterday, January the 7th. Let's go ahead and pull up the article, and we can go ahead and discuss. I just seen that too. Go pray for California. They're having a lot of wildfires going on in the Los Angeles area, and this happens in California a lot. But yeah. So yesterday, Meta is ending its fact-checking program and lifting restrictions on speech to restore free expressions across Facebook, Instagram, and Meta platforms, admitting its current content moderation practices have gone too far. This is from Fox News. We're going to get back to our roots and focus on reducing mistakes, simplifying our policies, and restoring free expressions on our platforms, Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg said in a video posted Tuesday morning. More specifically, we're going to get rid of fact checkers and replace them with community notes similar to X, starting in the United States. Meta Chief Global Affairs Officer Joel Kaplan joined Fox News channel Fox and Friends Tuesday morning for an exclusive interview to discuss the changes. He said, "This is a great opportunity for us to reset the balance in favor of free expression." As Mark said in that video, what we're doing is we're getting back to our roots and free expressions, Kaplan told Fox and Friends on Tuesday. Ladies and gentlemen, Facebook is canceling fact checkers, and I'm happy. And look, looking at this at the surface, this is a great thing. Okay, and there's a couple of factors I'm going to deal with this. Because one is they're probably seeing the success of X. You remember when Elon bought X? Everybody was like, oh, the platform's done. There's going to be radicals all over the place, and they're going to be saying things, outlandish things, and it's going to be horrible. And X is still standing firm, and people have gone back to X. I have an X account, and I have several of them. Now, I don't usually use X. I just don't like X. But there's a lot of people that are going back to X. And why? Because they can express themselves freely. This is why Parler was a success for a while until Facebook and Google decided to monopoly the market and get them out. But people want to express themselves. And this is something that Facebook has been fighting with for several years. This whole censorship. And look, I'm going to use for prime example. I was hearing him talk about this the other day, and he made a lot of sense. Ben Shapiro's personal page was hitting over 1 billion impressions. And when Facebook started implementing this censorship stuff from the Biden administration, mind you, this is all thanks to Elon Musk for releasing the Twitter files, and us hearing stories of how the government went run to Mark Zuckerberg and telling him, hey, you have to censor this certain content because it was labeled disinformation. Then it went to misinformation and all this other stuff. But Ben Shapiro said it. He had a billion impressions, and it went down to 100 million after Facebook started doing this censorship stuff. And look, me personally, I'm not as big of an influencer as Ben Shapiro. But before Mark Zuckerberg started censoring this censorship and this fact-checking crap that was going on Facebook, this show was getting an audience. And around 2021, it just started going downhill. I started noticing a lot of my videos started losing traction. And what they basically did was just limited how many people saw it. You could share, you could like, you could do all the stuff, but the algorithm would not Let's see. Breaking news right now at the time of this recording. Wildfires the size of more than 2,000 football fields in Gulf Los Angeles area. Please, again, keep the Los Angeles area in your prayer. That got to be horrible. Seeing a fire come towards your house and you can't do nothing. And the firefighters are probably trying to stop it, but that big of a flame, it's hard. So please keep Los Angeles in your prayers. Going back to Facebook, though. Why Facebook is doing this? Well, the political shift is one. I talked about how they seeing Elon Musk's Twitter not failing like a lot of left-leaning liberals said it was going to happen. Again, the political shift. Donald Trump is getting into office, and look, this all started back in 2016, mind you. I will say this. Let's give you some history of why Facebook started doing this. Facebook was criticized by the Clintons because Hillary Clinton said the Russia information influenced Facebook, and people were hearing false information, which was not really false. And they were posting it on Facebook, and Facebook made me sound like I was an evil you know what. And Hillary Clinton lost the election mainly because social media did play a role, but it wasn't the Russians. It was Americans like myself making videos at the time saying, guys, we cannot have Hillary Rodden Clinton in there. And this is the time when Greg Allen and many other conservative influencers got their start. Remember, look, a lot of people see Graham Allen right now as this great Rumble influencer, but Greg Allen started like this. Hey, he took out a phone and said, "Dear America." How many of you remember that? That all started from Facebook. They didn't have TikTok at the time. They didn't have Snapchat that I'm aware of. Maybe they did, but it wasn't widely known. It was a YouTube video that kicked off his career. And Facebook held their ground for about 4 years, saying, no, we're going to keep the freedom of speech. And then 2020 came. And COVID came. And the Biden administration and the Democrat Party ran to Facebook and started telling Facebook, hey, we think that is false information. You need to pull it down. And guess what? Mark Zuckerberg finally caved after so many years of hearing the political pundits say Facebook was not doing a better job of stopping disinformation or misinformation. Facebook caved. Now, after 4 years of censoring conservatives, mainly conservatives, and hiding truths and stopping good content from being out there and the truth being out there, our good friend Dr. Mike has been censored on YouTube. That came out the other day that they're permanently banned on YouTube, all because Dr. Mike wrote 2 books about COVID and vaccinations. YouTube, I know if he was here right now, he would probably tell us that Fauci's fiction was censored on YouTube, on Facebook. People want to hear about COVID, but that was labeled disinformation. Why? Because the Biden administration's handling of it. And I'm tired of hearing how the Biden administration handled it so well. No, they hid information from you. That's a big difference. And that was on Facebook. The political shift has happened. And the last reason I could see is because of money. You know how many people, including myself, don't use Facebook like I used to? I remember back in the day, I couldn't stay off of the thing. But now, and I grew mature. I'm a little bit more mature than I was when I was young. The only reason I'm on Facebook right now is because of this show. Look, if somebody told me, do you want TikTok or do you want Facebook? I probably would say TikTok. Facebook is not what it used to be. Facebook is old news. And look, Facebook is surviving. They're not doing like, this is how old I am, MySpace. MySpace was a big trending thing. Facebook came, and guess what? Facebook lost its edge. Facebook is holding its ground against TikTok and Snapchat and other platforms. But it's not as good as it used to be. And you know, one of the reasons why is because more conservatives got off of it because of the censorship. My good friend, and he made it public, Scott Ford, who told me the other day he's planning on putting a show together. So we'll be advertising the Scott Ford show in a little while. Gonna have to introduce him to Two Mics Live. We have another one in the family, guys. Amber, if you're in the chat, Mike, if you're in the chat, Scott Ford, great guy, great conservative. Y'all will love him. He'd be great to advertise. But Scott Ford, my good friend, told me one day, I'm getting off of Facebook. And you know what? His show suffered for it. All because he was telling the truth and exposing lies. Now, but again, this is one of the reasons, you know, I labeled this episode, Facebook is canceling fact checkers. Because that was one reason too. You know, if you had a fact checker that got his feelings or her feelings hurt, they labeled it as misinformation and false information. And guess what? Facebook will listen to them, denying the facts. That's what these fact checkers did. They denied the facts. You can have all the evidence in the world that what you were talking about was true, but if there was a fact checker on Facebook that felt that your post was insensitive, he would label it, or she would label it as misinformation. And guess what? It would be taken off. I remember my post getting that. And what was the funny thing about these fact checkers, and this is what Mark Zuckerberg, he's making this announcement. This is the only thing that I hope people would see. I see the hypocrisy in it. For years saying, oh, we need to take off this false information. And now he admits, hey, the Biden administration pressured us to do certain things, and we are wrong. You waited 4 years to do it. But it's kind of funny. If you wanted real fact checkers and you really wanted to be nonpartisan, all you had to do was hire a couple of conservative fact checkers to fact check the Democrat Party. But no, it was all left-leaning people that were assigned as fact checkers for Facebook. And the left could say whatever they want. You know how many lies? Let's go to this point. You know how many lies the left pushed with COVID and was not called out by Facebook? Think about this, okay? There was tons of lies. Look, the one that tops off my memory right now is the mask. Dr. Fauci telling us, hey, the mask does not work. I don't know why people are wearing masks. 2 days later, oh, the mask will stop all the spread of COVID. And when conservatives like myself was like, don't you remember what Dr. Fauci said? Dr. Fauci said in that interview that we didn't need masks, and you have medical professionals like Dr. Michael Schwartz telling us, hey, that really does not help, but Facebook flashing, oh, this is misinformation. And you have a fact checker telling us that what we were saying was not true. And you have people that are uneducated in the political realm that will tell us, oh, they put a fact check on it. It must be true. Mark Zuckerberg allowed this to happen for 4 years. Look, I'm glad he's admitting that he was wrong. I'm glad Meta is admitting that they were wrong. But it's kind of a little too late. Remember, there were also some of them with the Hunter Biden laptop incident. Oh, Hunter Biden's laptop was not, that laptop was Russian disinformation. It is wrong. And Democrats and the left lied, but they were and people's posts and videos were pulled down because they said, no, this is legit. New York Post, one of the biggest newspapers in the world, was pulled down from Facebook because they reported correctly and the left lied about it. And guess what? Nobody got fact checked on the left. They're probably not getting fact checked now. The Russian information hoax from 2016 is there's still Democrats believe that Russia was involved with our election in 2020. And guess what? They're not getting fact checked. I'm glad it's happening. I'm glad they're changing their policies. Will this make Facebook rebound? I don't know. We're gonna have to wait and see. But I wonder if they're still gonna conservatives make sure they're not misinformation. And getting back to their roots. We just want people to express themselves freely. There's one more point I just thought about it. Just bringing it. They're probably changing their policy too, because what if Donald Trump comes in there and says, "Hey, let's reverse the policies that protects them from being sued." Oh, well, we're a free speech platform. Maybe, I don't know. They also announced they put Joe Rogan, I think, on the board of Meta. So, like I said, we're gonna have to wait and see what happens. But I'm glad that fact checkers are getting canceled. About time, in my humble opinion. All right, let's move on. So Donald Trump has been certified to be the next president of the United States. This happened on January 6th. This happened on Monday. We talked about this a little bit on the show. That when the show released, Congress was not in session yet. And I thought they would go in at 12 o'clock Central Standard Time. God forbid that Congress goes in before 12 o'clock. You know, look, okay, right now, I'm recording this early in the morning because I have to be at work for a certain time. Could you imagine me telling my boss when I got hired on, hey, boss, I can't show up until 12 o'clock and I have to leave before 5 o'clock. Would I hold a job? Look, a lot of people look at this too. Okay, Isaac, well, you air at 10 o'clock. Yeah, but there's a lot of work involved in this. And I don't do it full time. If God would bless me where I could do this full time, this job would not be me just talking for an hour. That is a very small part of what we do here. We have research. We have to form opinions. We have to share our stuff on social media. This is a full-time gig in itself. And look, I don't go to the extreme. I don't go ahead and do videos. I don't have the time to. You can talk to Dr. Mike and them that do video stuff. It takes a lot of work to do this. And if we would do this full time, it would be probably a good 7 to 5 o'clock for me. It's not 9 to 5. It would be 7 to 5 of trying to share this and trying to make sure this video goes out. So, with that being said, Congress can't work they only can work from like 12 to 5, unless it's something real pushing. They have to spend all night. They can't get up before 12 o'clock. I'm just saying, it's just weird. That wasn't in my notes. That's a freebie for you guys. Anyway, but Kamala Harris was there, and she was certifying the votes, and she put out a video before, and she was saying how the transfer of power is the most essential thing in our country. The transfer of power and the peaceful transfer of power is a staple. Now, she didn't say, I'm not quoting her verbatim, but she made this video, and I'm gonna explain why she made this video in a second. But I will make a point here too: the peaceful transfer of power. Her and Biden always talks about that. The peaceful transfer of power. We have to have a peaceful transfer of power. But Joe Biden is doing everything in the book to sabotage the Trump administration. Latest one coming with the oil, and we're going to be talking about that in a few minutes as well. Hopefully, if we have time. But Kamala Harris, yes, made a video saying she's doing her constitutional duty to do this peaceful transfer of power. Now, we'll bring up a point too here. They all talking about this peaceful transfer of power. Didn't Donald Trump get out the White House? I don't remember Donald Trump having his hands at the doorway and people having him by the door, by his feet, trying to pull him out, and him saying, "I know where to go. I know where to go." We didn't see that. We saw Donald Trump get on a helicopter and do the traditional way. Yeah, he didn't stay for the inauguration. He was pissed. I'm going to be honest with you. But he was upset. But he got out of office. He left. He didn't stay there. There was a peaceful transfer of power in 2020. But see, the Democrats don't want to talk about that. They rather talk about January 6th, and we're going to talk about this in a little while. But even Joe Biden even wrote an op-ed, I think in the Washington Post, where even some Democrats are upset at him for doing that. Talking about this peaceful transfer of power and that we need to remember January 6th of 2021. But anyway, Kamala Harris did this, and yes, she was. I watched some of it, and look, you could see her face. That's the first thing I thought about when I saw this on Monday. Her face told the story. She was angry that she had to be up there. And even some on the left-leaning media were like, I can't believe they're making Kamala Harris do this. This is so wrong. For doing her job. She wanted to be vice president. And if she knew she was running for president, she should have resigned so she didn't have to do that. But you can see in her face, every time the Republicans would cheer when they would give a Trump electoral count, she was just foaming at the mouth. And look, I think it was Amy Komishoff, whatever her name is. She ran off Pennsylvania, and look, you can see the disgust in their face that they had to announce that Donald Trump was winning this election. That he won this election. And this is the thing too. Okay, yeah, they're doing this peaceful transfer of power, but they're making their voices heard that they disagree with this. It would not surprise me, and this is my opinion, that they believe that Donald Trump did something to steal his election. But see, they put themselves in a pickle this time. They cannot say, hey, we feel this election was shady, because in 2021, they called us election deniers. And they called our system of voting the most perfect one out there. They can't do that anymore. And also, they can't hold well, he lost the popular vote. He won the popular vote. Uh-oh. See, now they put themselves in a pickle. And they didn't think about this. They didn't think about this when they did this 4 years ago. It was a good slogan. They didn't make themselves look good. But Harris went ahead and did her duty. She certified the election. There was no contention or no challenges to the electoral college votes. She went ahead and did her job. Kudos to her. But again, the left did not take this, and the media didn't take this to talk about, hey, how great of a day this was, that this peaceful transfer of power. It was glorious. This shows our democracy at work. You didn't hear about this. You know what you heard? Oh, we got to remember January 6th of 2021. Several on the left and media went ahead and attacked Donald Trump. Even some having a prayer on Capitol Hill. This was Chuck Schumer, had this woke liberal priest up there talking about January 6th. Sunny Holston from The View compared January 6th to the Holocaust and World War II. She wasn't the only one that said that. Akeem Jeffries, if I'm not mistaken, let's go ahead. Yeah, Akeem Jeffries compared January 6th to Pearl Harbor. Former senator says she feels bitter that Donald Trump didn't pay a higher price for January 6th. They tried, but they tried their best with the January 6th committee and all. The left used the opportunity to attack Donald Trump and go back to this peaceful transfer of power. There was no peaceful transfer of power. And trying to blame Donald Trump for January 6th. Okay, Donald Trump did call. Let's do something the media don't tell you. It's facts. Donald Trump did call people to the Capitol on January 6th of 2021. He did. Donald Trump did not encourage anybody to go to the Capitol and ransack it. Facts as well, Donald Trump was tweeting and telling people to leave the Capitol because we are the party of law and order. Yeah, but Isaac, he encouraged them by false information and telling them he believed that the election results should have been different. Okay? He had every right to challenge that election. If he felt there was something shady, he had the right to challenge it, but also being the president of the United States had to protect our rights to vote. But Donald Trump, nowhere in his speech, told the people to ransack the Capitol. Also in Washington, D.C., you're not hearing a lot about it, but because it's Dan Bongino has a good theory on this about the pipe bombs in front of the RNC and the DNC. And like I said, if you want to listen to Dan Bongino, go listen to Dan Bongino. He got a great theory on that. But where are these people? They've been at large for 4 years. I heard Dan say that the other day. And all of a sudden, these bombs didn't go off. And I'm glad they didn't. But the riot took place. People are calling this an insurrection, and Donald Trump led an insurrection. But Donald Trump, in his speech, never, ever encouraged people. Oh, yeah, he told them to go to the Capitol. Yes, he did. To peacefully and patriotically make your voices heard. He used the word peacefully. Oh, he was just covering his rear end. No, he was not. Donald Trump did not know. He saw a peaceful gathering. He called it a rally. Our good friend to the show, Mike Calderese, was there. He was interviewing people for his show at the time, Calderese Unleash. Ladies and gentlemen, January 6th cannot be compared to Pearl Harbor. And them trying to put this in a bad light to Donald Trump is wrong as well. Donald Trump was not to blame for January 6th. He called them to the Capitol. He did. He called for a peaceful rally. And you know what? Well, all the people that ransacked the Capitol that day was a small factor of how many people was there. There was thousands upon thousands of people there. Only a small amount went into the Capitol. And even on the left are criticizing Donald Trump for saying he's going to pardon the January 6ers possibly on day one. He should. Isaac, you're saying that you encourage. No, I do not encourage. They shouldn't have went into the Capitol. They should have let the business be done. Okay? I have my feelings on January 6th. I'm not as mainstream as a lot of people are on this. I don't feel they should have went into the Capitol. But I don't think it's worth going to jail for years. These were political prisoners for the Democrat Party. Plain and simple. They wanted it to look bad. And this is how I feel about January 6th. But the left, instead of talking about the great democracy we have, which we're not a democracy, we're a republic, instead of using January 6th of this year to push unity, no, people on The View like Sonny Holston wants to compare this to the Holocaust, which is a shame to the Jewish community. People saying they wish Donald Trump would have paid a higher political price for what happened on January 6th. It wasn't Donald Trump's fault on January 6th. And I think Americans are seeing it. And look, I don't agree with Allison Farson of The View a lot, but like she made a point too, a lot of people are tired of hearing about January 6th. And then, well, people shouldn't forget what happened on January 6th. No, we learned from it. What is kind of funny is, and this is a point I want to bring out right here about January 6th, it's funny how Sonny Holston, Anna Navarro, and all these people that are on the left will criticize the one time that there was a riot that Republicans were behind, or I'd say behind, or they labeled that it was behind by MAGA. But the year before, you had Black Lives Matter burning down cities, literally burning down cities, and taking over city blocks and defying government orders. And they were told by several political activists and political figures, oh, that's good, you're protesting. Keep doing it. I remember, I think it was some Firehouse show. I can't think of the name. It was on ABC. And they were filming around this time. And they had a firefighter that had a family, and their whole their shop was being burned down. And the way the show went, the two people that owned the shop, if my shop has to burn to show people how bad racism, I will take the sacrifice. People were not saying that. That's how far the left is out of reality. We had cities being burned down in 2020. And the media encouraged it. Remember CNN? This is a mostly peaceful protest, and the building is falling apart because of flames. But on January 6th, oh, this is the worst day in American history. We compared to Pearl Harbor. And look, if this was an insurrection, that was the worst insurrection I ever saw. Usually an insurrection involves weapons. Again, you can't deny some of the videos. Bad things happen on January 6th. But I'm going to be honest with you. The Democrats did a lot of stuff too on it. They're just making that point. And the left trying to switch the focus. Oh, Donald Trump's the worst thing. And look what you're elected. He did 4 years ago. We're not doing this. We're better than him. No, you're not. Because that's another thing too that burns my rear end every time I hear it. That people think that Joe Biden is this great saint that never lied, and he lied more times in office than anybody else, in my humble opinion. Again, to remember the late Jimmy Carter. Jimmy Carter went to his grave knowing he was not the worst president of the United States. Joe Biden has taken that title by far. Obama wasn't good, but Obama was not the worst president we had. All right, let's move on. Justin Trudeau announced resignation, reveals one regret in particular. This is from the Daily Caller. Justin Trudeau went ahead and, let me get to it. Yeah. Canadian Prime Minister. Why it says that? Anyway, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau announced his plans to resign from office Monday in the wake of the public dispute with President-elect Donald Trump and plumbing popularity amongst even those in his own party. The decision comes in the wake of Financial Minister Chrystia Freeland's resignation, which was prompted in part of Trudeau's spat with Trump over tariff policies. He ends his nine-year tenure as prime minister with 33% approval rating, with citizens citing cost of living and immigration anxiety as the top issue. Ladies and gentlemen, good for Canada. Now, look, I explained a little bit. I did some research on how Canada elects their prime minister and how their elections go on. If you want to know more, go look up Two Mics Live. Giuseppe is from Canada, and I think it's Plumber that sometimes in our chat, he's from Canada, and it is it's a shame what's happening in Canada. It really is. Canada is I've never been there, but seeing some videos and stuff, like, Canada is a very beautiful place, but politically it's a mess, and it's all because of Justin Trudeau. Now, Justin Trudeau and the parliamentary system don't have to worry about an election every 4 years. This is what, and to be honest with you, this is what keeps our Democrats from not going extremely left either. Because we see this, when they go extremely left, guess what? They lose their job. We saw this with Joe Biden. Joe Biden pushed every single left-leaning agenda. And guess what? He was voted out overwhelmingly by the American people. They got tired of seeing their grocery bills go up. They stopped seeing their gas prices. And look, some of the left are saying this too about Trump and Joe Biden on that part. Well, Trump said he can't really go ahead and bring down gas prices and this and this and this and this. Give Trump time too. Okay, Trump's not in office yet either. Trump, look, don't think that Trump's going to get in on January 20th and everything's going to go back to normal, or everything will go back to when he was president in 2016 to 2020. It's going to take time. We are in a deep hole because of left-leaning agendas. So don't think, oh, Trump's going to get in January 20th and it's going to be hunky-dory. They got work to do. But going back to that point, look, Biden had a bad 4 years. He's out of office. Even with him trying to change the candidate at the last minute, he's out of office. He could not win no more. See, Justin Trudeau, according to my knowledge of the political realm in Canada, he didn't have to worry about that. 9 years of being prime minister, never faced an election. He was elected as prime minister, and he held that spot. Now, there is some indication that the Conservative Party of Canada probably will get a conservative prime minister. And let's hope that conservative prime minister is going to change something. And that he's going to fix stuff that's going on in Canada. Let's just hope. That's our hope. We can hope that happens. But Justin Trudeau is gone. And again, this is because of woke agenda. This is why he's resigning. He knew he could not win an election in Canada. And also, again, it didn't help either that Donald Trump embarrassed him on the world stage when Trump made the comment of Canada being the 51st state of the country. And he's like, I'm just making that point right here. Now, Donald Trump is just not eyeing Canada, apparently. Donald Trump also wants to buy Greenland. This is according to Daily Wire. And he also wants to change the Gulf of Mexico. This is according to Fox News. Donald Trump wants to change the Gulf of Mexico because he said, hey, the Gulf of America sounds a lot better and it holds a lot more of America than Mexico. And also with Greenland, he wants to buy Greenland in the Panama, I think is it the Panama Islands? Something like that, because of security reasons. That's why he wants to pick it up. Now, the Prime Minister of the Danish Prime Minister said that Greenland is not for sale, and that I heard this morning, she's pushing for its independence. So we're gonna see what happened with that. This is my whole thing about Trump wanting to talk about land and stuff like that. Like Canada, I know that was a joke. Canada will never ever be part of America unless people like Giuseppe and them vote to say, hey, we want to be part of a better union than a parliamentary system. They might come, but Canada, I knew that was a joke. Okay, Canada, and Justin Trudeau is resigning, and I think they're gonna have a good conservative prime minister. Hopefully that prime minister, if he can push back free speech, he can go ahead and put back things that are critical, give them back their gun rights, and help Canada get, hey, like I said the other day, and I think it was Mike's show, where I said, hey, make Canada great again. They need to do that. Now, like I said, Canada was a joke, but Trump pushing this Gulf of Mexico and, getting Greenland and all that stuff, that's peanuts compared to what we have to offer. Okay, look, I'm going to criticize Trump on this. I understand Trump is looking at the security side of it, and Donald Trump it wants to advance America agenda and American policies and make America great again, and by getting Greenland and other stuff like that. I understand his point why he's doing this. But at the same time, look, the Gulf of Mexico, the name of the Gulf of Mexico does not matter to me. What matters to me is lowering down our food costs, lowering down our gas prices, and helping us keep money in our pocket. The Trump tax plans end this year, and they're trying to push it. Mike Johnson and several other Republicans are trying to keep this tax plan intact and make them permanent so the Democrat Party don't try to remove them again in another 6, 7, or 8 years. That is important. Get the tax plan permanent. That's important to me. Changing the Gulf of Mexico's name is not that important. I understand Greenland with security issues. Look, leave that for the Pentagon. If you think we need it, offer him a price. And Donald Trump Donald Trump is not going to commit to not using military to get Greenland, Panama Canal. That's what it is, the Panama Canal. That's from the Daily Wire. They asked Donald Trump, will you use military? I will use whatever I have to do to get it. That's not a good sign either. I do not agree with that. Okay? I understand he's doing it for military reasons and security reasons for our country. And I'll have to look more into it. I just read his comments like, he wants Greenland and all that stuff. But that's not on our top priority. Americans did not vote for Donald Trump to get Greenland and the Panama Canal. They voted Donald Trump to make our country and our economy better. And look, like the Gulf of Mexico, I don't care about the Gulf of Mexico. It's American territory. The reason it was called the Gulf of Mexico is because Texas and all that was Mexico at the time. And look, if he does it, great. Hey, that's some icing on the cake, but that's not the main priority. Donald Trump should not go ahead into office thinking, hey, I'm going to change the Gulf of Mexico's name. That's my top priority. It's not. And if there's people in his administration telling him, hey, the top priority is to get Greenland, get the Panama Canal, and to change Gulf of Mexico's name, then you need to fire their butts. But that's not the most important issue, in my humble opinion. All right, let's move on. Trump is drill baby drill, but Biden says stop drilling. That's the reason this is. Biden went ahead and pushed bans on new oil and gas drilling along the U.S. coast, which is including the Gulf of Mexico and the east and west coast. Biden says this is because of environmental reasons. He wants to go ahead and make sure that our families and our kids, our grandkids, and their great-grandkids can enjoy Mother Earth. While he's stopping drilling and banning fracking and all that other stuff here in the United States. Well, he hasn't banned fracking, but you get what I'm saying. He's against new oil things and coal and all that stuff. He kind of fails to mention that China is not stopping, Russia isn't stopping, the Saudi Arabians are not stopping, North Korea isn't stopping drilling. How us stopping drilling will save planet Earth? And look, I never talk to I don't talk to environmentalists too much, or people that believe in global warming or climate change, whatever you want to label it. I just don't understand. Okay, they're pushing for all this stuff, energy emissions. They are pushing all this this climate stuff here in the United States. Do they honestly think when the world burns up because of global warming and we stop drilling and we stop the global emissions and all this stuff, do they think half of the earth is going to blow up or burn? Oh, well, we're prolonging it because we're doing this. Oh, so we're going to go without as American citizens. And this is another thing, too, Biden don't get. And look, Biden is a couple of fries short of a Happy Meal. This was a sign with executive order, but according to the way that it's set up, this is why I say he's sabotaging Donald Trump's presidency. The way that this executive order was signed, it needs Congress to reverse it. Now, Congress is Republican, and if the Republicans are smart, they're going to reverse this and allow Trump to reverse this. Donald Trump just can't take an executive order, which it's bizarre to me that an executive order can be signed but not unsigned by the guy coming after him. But Joe Biden's pushing this. And Joe Biden don't understand that oil is made for a lot more stuff than just putting in your vehicle. See, a lot of people that don't understand the oil industry think that, hey, this oil is being pumped out of the ground, they're putting it into a gas station so you can put it in your car. There's a lot more involved with that. A lot more involved. Probably where you're sitting at right now, a lot of the stuff you're around was made with oil. But Joe Biden apparently don't understand that. There's a lot of things Joe Biden don't understand. Joe Biden is trying to sabotage Donald Trump's administration because Donald Trump is drill, baby, drill. He wants to drill oil to make our country great again. See, Biden and them are part of the, I'm going to say it like this, New World Order, where we have to lump everybody together and put them all on the same poverty line. And to do that, you have to bring America down. And Joe Biden, for the last 4 years, has been very successful bringing America down. But Americans don't want to be put down. They want to be up. They want our country to thrive, not Joe Biden. Joe Biden stopping with the drilling, trying to stop us from drilling for oil, which is one of our main incomes. Remember, Donald Trump put us under, we were energy independent under Donald Trump. Now we're oil dependent on other countries again because of Joe Biden's handling of this crisis. And this was all done on purpose. You're not going to tell me 2 weeks before the inauguration you're putting this bill into play? Come on, dude. As Joe Biden would say, come on, man. But Trump has said he plans to immediately reverse Biden's ridiculous ban on new oil and gas drilling along the U.S. coast. That's according to Fox News. Let's continue with Joe Biden because I want to make this point before, and I'm jumping around some of my stories. I'm going to make a statement right here. Joe Biden was a good president to some people. I'm being honest with you. Joe Biden was a good president. Now, I know people in the chat like Wendy and definitely not Karen and whoever else is in the chat would probably fall into say, Isaac, you saying he was a good president? Yes, to some people, to criminals, to terrorists. Remember Joe Biden signed some pardons and commute sentences to death row people that killed innocent people. They like him. Hey, he commuted our sins. Hey, he was a good president. Also, there's 11 Yemeni terrorists from Guantanamo Bay that like Joe Biden. They think he was a good president. The Biden administration released 11 Yemeni terrorists from Guantanamo Bay to Oman. This came from Breitbart. Breitbart reported this on, on January 6th, which was Monday. While the men have been approved for transfer by national security officers more than 2 years ago, they were approved to be transferred to Oman on Monday, according to NPR News. Oman reportedly agreed to help resettle them and provide security monitoring for the 11 prisoners who are described as being former al-Qaeda members, according to the records from the U.S. Department of Defense. The outlet noted that the transfer of prisoners were originally scheduled to happen in October of 2023 under Biden's term, but was paused due to concerns regarding the instabilism in the Middle East in the aftermath of Hamas's October 7, 2023 attack on Israel. No, it would look bad that terrorists attack a country and you just let 11 of them out. So you pushed it back until 2 weeks until the election, until 2 weeks until inauguration, where Donald Trump could have changed this. But Joe Biden released these terrorists, men that were al-Qaeda members. I don't know if they were involved with 9/11. But Joe Biden just, again, released 11 terrorists. Now, the headline says the Biden administration released 11 Yemeni terrorists who were captured after the September 11 terrorist attack from Guantanamo Bay. I don't understand this dude. I really don't understand Joe Biden. Stopping drilling, that would help this country. And instead of protecting our nation, goes ahead and pushes for the release of 11 terrorists, and did it. Oh, we're gonna watch them. Yeah, we're gonna have a good eye on these 11 guys. Really? They really gonna watch these people? I don't get this guy. I really don't. All right, guys. A couple of more stories. I got 2 more, and I'm probably gonna wrap. Well, 3 more. Let's hurry and wrap this up. Trump has legal battles before the inauguration and taking office. Appeals court judge denies Trump request to delay January's 10th sentence hearing. We talked about this last time. Donald Trump, and this is from the Daily Wire. Donald Trump, all of a sudden, the judge, Juan Manchin, wanted to sends Donald Trump. He said he's not going to put him in jail, but he will sentence him on January 10th. Donald Trump's legal team have been appealing this, and the courts in New York are declining it. And ladies and gentlemen, there's a reason for this. This is to show people, oh, well, you elected a convicted felon. They're trying to sabotage Donald Trump's stuff, and this might be pressure from the Democrats to try to say, hey guys in Congress, you shouldn't vote with Trump because Donald Trump is this and Donald Trump is that, and y'all allowing a convicted felon to do things. Also this week, a federal judge blocked special counsel Jack Smith from releasing his final report. This was supposed to happen this week as well, and the Trump administration got the report and said, look, this should not be released. We should not release this whatsoever, but the Department of Justice, Merrick Garland, all of them wanted to release it. Now a federal judge has blocked it. Ladies and gentlemen, they're trying to sabotage Donald Trump's presidency. Why all of a sudden, 2 weeks before inauguration? Are they trying to influence Congress to not side with Trump? See, last time they had Paul Ryan, they didn't need to do none of this stuff. But now, that's not good. We don't have a Paul Ryan. We have a Mike Johnson that likes Donald Trump and will push Donald Trump's policy. So now they have to try to influence some of the more moderate Republicans to not fall in line with Donald Trump, because Donald Trump's evil and wicked. Again, for Jack Smith's case, though, Donald Trump has not. He has been charged, but most of the cases have been dropped in Jack Smith's case. And this man, if I'm not mistaken, caused the American people millions of dollars, let's just say it like that, to run these coups against Donald Trump. And the appeals court, all these appeal judges are from New York. Do you really think they're going to let Donald Trump slide? This is the whole thing, too. This is an appeal. And they're still letting this case go on. Now, I think after Donald Trump becomes president, this will go away. We're going to have to wait and see on that, though. All right. Democrats don't care about protecting American citizens, apparently, because 159 Democrats voted against the Laken Riley Act. This is this bill that has been pushed through is a bill that would protect people by arresting immigrants that have done petty crimes. And what I mean by petty crimes is crimes that will let me go ahead and just read it. That will so that would require federal immigrants authorities to detain illegal migrants who commit theft-related crimes in the U.S. and would also allow states to sue the Department of Homeland Security for harm caused to their residents because of illegal immigration, which is a good bill. This should pass. It's called the Laken Riley Act. Now, the legislation passed the House 264 to 159, but 159 Democrats, including AOC, decided not to vote for this. It's funny that this is how I look at this. 159 Democrats cared more about illegal immigrants than us American citizens. This should have been overwhelming. This shouldn't have even been an issue. This should have passed. All congressmen and women should have voted for this, but they didn't, unfortunately. Now, to credit to 48 Democrats for voting for the bill. They voted. They thought it was a good idea. They're not the only ones. In the Senate, John Fetterman, Senator of Pennsylvania, said he supports this bill when it comes up to the Senate, and he will vote for it. According to Daily Wire, and I don't know why it's not hitting. There we go. Didn't want to work this morning. John Fetterman. Where you at? Come on. Technology. You got to love it. Yeah, so John Fetterman. So the Laken Riley story is a tragic reminder of what is at stake when our system fails to protect people. Senator John Fetterman became the first Senate Democrat to sponsor the Laken Riley Act, which passed the House of Representatives on Tuesday. News broke of Fetterman's plan to support the bill just ahead of the vote for the measure to take place in the House. So it was breaking news. I'm trying to see. Fetterman issued a statement in support of the bill in the name of the Georgia nursing student who was brutally murdered by a illegal migrant who had previously been arrested but not deported. Laken Riley's story is a tragic reminder of what's at stake when our system fails to protect people. No family should have to endure the pain of losing a loved one to preventable violence. Fetterman's statement read, "Immigrants in which make our country great." Fetterman continued, "I support giving authorities the tool to prevent tragedies like this, one while work to comprehend solutions to our broken system." John Fetterman is the next Joe Manchin. I'm telling you. He's in a state where he don't have that much leeway. And this is a good sign that the Laken Riley Act is going to pass. Now, again, I don't understand Democrats that don't want to protect American citizens. Again, reading this, protecting citizens or protecting people that are not citizens of the United States. Democrats, and Joe Biden can be looped into this too because he did it with the terrorists, rather protect criminals to have a good legal point or a political point than protecting American citizens. It's sad. And this is one reason why Democrats lost power. And this is why John Fetterman is doing what he's doing. And if John Fetterman keeps up doing it, I hate to say it, but he's probably going to win re-election when it comes up in the Senate if he keeps doing what he's doing now. But if he's a flip-flop, Republicans are leading, well, I'm going to go with the Republicans. Democrats are leading, I'm going to go with the Democrats. I think people in Pennsylvania see that. Now, Pennsylvania is a 50-50 state. They have two senators that are both from different areas. So, both from two different parties, so we have to see. One more story. We're going to wrap this up and go home. Joe Biden, the Biden administration, is working to effectively ban cigarettes in the 11th hour, proposing a gift to cartels, experts say. This is from Fox News. Let's read a little bit of this. Oh man, I hate when it does this. Don't you hate when you try to read some and ads pop up? The Food and Drug Administration is moving forward with its regulatory rule in the final days of the Biden administration that would effectively ban cigarettes currently on the market in favor of products with lower nicotine levels, which could end boosting business for cartels operating on the black market, a expert tells Fox Digital. Ladies and gentlemen, now Biden. Look, first off, I want to say this. I don't agree with smoking. I think smoking is a bad habit. I think smoking is not good for your health. And I'm glad I never put a cigarette in my mouth. This does not affect me. But I do have an opinion on it, okay? I disagree with it, but I shouldn't force people not to do it. Okay? I can voice my opinion and tell you the reasons why I believe smoking is wrong. But I shouldn't tell you, hey, you got to stop. That is your choice. Joe Biden apparently believes he's God and thinks he knows better than everybody else. And we got to lower the nicotine. Yes, but you're also helping people, the cartels that are selling cigarettes on the black market. And this is the biggest issue with me with this. Okay, I understand with the cartel and everything like that. Biden is telling people, I'm taking away your cigarettes because you don't know what's better for you. Again, I'm not for cigarettes. I can't stand the smell of cigarette smoke. But you're telling me Joe Biden knows better than people? Look, I might agree with him. Hey, he might hate smoking. I understand that. But to tell the American people you can't smoke because the government's taking away your cigarettes, it's kind of dictatorship to me, in my opinion. Like I said, I don't smoke. Okay, I don't. This does not affect me. But it's going to affect a lot of people. And look, I wish everybody would stop smoking. It's a bad habit. Like I said, that's my opinion of it, though. But Joe Biden wants to take away your cigarettes. And they call Donald Trump a dictator. I don't know. I understand rules, I understand laws and everything, but telling somebody not to do something because you don't think it's right. Look, we still have freedoms in this country. And for Joe Biden to say, hey, I'm taking away your cigarettes in the last hour, I don't know what he's doing. I really don't know what he's doing. He might not even making this. He might just be saying, I want some ice cream. Anyway. I don't know. This is elder abuse, in my opinion. With that being said, that's going to wrap up this episode of the Isaac Hayes Show. Got to go ahead and go into work now. You be blessed, guys. You be encouraged. Remember, Jesus Christ is King. He's coming back, and he's coming back soon. So don't be faint of heart. Jesus has overcome the world. You just got to put your faith and trust in Jesus as your Lord and Savior, and ask him to remove sins that you have committed in your life, and he will forgive you. All you have to do is believe in him as Savior. Thank you, everybody in the chat. Please like the video, share the video, tell your friends about the Isaac Hayes Show. Let's make this show go viral. Until next time, you be blessed, you be encouraged, you have a good one. We'll see you Friday.